Hi, this is Tim from fittatmidlife.com. Today I've got the brand new Reebok Nano X, the newest CrossFit training shoe from Reebok for the year 2020. This is a first look and unboxing, but we're going to talk fit, sizing, and feel. We're also going to compare it to the Nike Metcon 5 and the Reebok Nano 9, so stick around. All right, let's take a look at the Reebok Nano X. So this is the 10th iteration of Reebok's CrossFit training shoe. However, it is no longer branded CrossFit. It does not appear anywhere on here. But we all know what these shoes are for. They are built and designed for functional fitness and CrossFit style workouts. So let's take a look and see what's new and improved. Let's start with the outsole. So you can see it is very similar to the Nano 9. You've got a very flat maximum contact area. So this is the kind of tread pattern you have for indoor use in the gym, in the box, on concrete floors. This is not meant for running on trails. It's not a deep tread or anything like that, but that's okay. Maximum contact area, very grippy. It is a two-piece decoupled outsole. This split heel, this is a thing they frequently do on shoes. Basically, the idea is when you heel strike, the split heel absorbs the shock and it provides a smoother transition when the midfoot lands on the pavement as well. Metasplit label still on here, and it has some flex grooves, although these don't have a ton of forefoot flexibility. They feel stiff, but I mean really they work fine because you can do all sorts of things in these, jumping rope and burpees and all that kind of stuff. So looks can be deceiving in that regard. The midsole. Lightweight EVA foam cushioning, compression molded midsole. Honestly, feels pretty much on par with the Nano 9. If there is any more cushioning here, I can't tell. Caveat, I've only had these for a day. I've worn them around quite a bit, as well as the Nano 9s, and so the cushioning, level of cushioning, my initial impression is it feels like it's on par with the Nano 9. The upper, you've got a new version of Flex Weave. So this is a double layer material. There's an outer layer, it's very tough. There's an inner layer. This is a very comfortable shoe. The midsole rubber protection wrap is here, as on the Nano 9. If we look around on the heel, you can see that the collar comes up high. This is nice, thick foam all the way around the collar. That's one of the new improvements this year. So that's foam all the way around, very comfortable. This Achilles pad comes up very high, tapers away, very comfortable as well. The tongue is very thin, at least in the front and up the middle. These two wings are padded. I almost feel like they've gone with not enough tongue down here though, so this is not very padded, and if you tighten the laces you can really kind of feel the lace bite right below the padding ends right there. So they've dialed back the tongue a bit, and it almost feels like maybe they've gone too far with that. The cage on the upper, so you can see this is just like the Nano 9. There's a booty style fit to the shoe, so there's this very comfortable, soft, stretchy inner material, and then there's this cage on the outside. So they've redone this a bit. It's slightly different, but the same in principle as it was on the Nano 9. You can also see The midsole rubber protection wrap is back, or still here. So this was a feature on the Nano 9 as well. Looks good, very tough, very protective. You'll also see the Rope Pro branding on the inside of the outsole. So this is where you would grip a rope doing rope climbs. Very tough outsole material here. Then you've got the rubber protection wrap, and this is super tough stuff. And the upper being flex weave. This is also a very tough upper on the shoe as well. So training shoes, they're built like tanks. That makes them heavy as well, but they are tough, and they should last a long time. So then you're probably wondering, okay, what is on the inside? How about the midsole? So the midsole is a lightweight EVA foam with a compression molded midsole. Reebok claiming smoother stride, long-lasting cushioning. My initial take is that it feels similar, if not identical, to the Nano 9. So to me, having had these for a day, keep that in mind, it feels like it is about the same level of cushion in the forefoot and the heel as the Nano 9 was. So they have not added or taken away cushioning. There is a very small drop-in insole. Not really much going on here. This is really thin. Probably doesn't do all that much. And, it is a cross trainer. So you've got to be able to lift weights in it, squats, snatches, all the Olympic lifts, deadlifts, all those things. But you've also got to be able to do other things like runs and box jumps and that kind of stuff. So it is a cross trainer, which means don't expect a ton of cushioning. All right, let's talk heel to toe drop. So Reebok has not published what the heel to toe drop is, also called the profile or just the drop. That is the difference in height between your heel and your toes. Being a cross trainer, you would expect a minimal drop. That is all that Reebok has said, that it is a minimal drop. If I had bet, I would say it's probably 4 millimeters, which is the same as the Nano 9 was. Okay, so with the outsole, the midsole, and the heel-to-toe drop seemingly unchanged from the Nano 9, what's really the big difference here? Well, it's the upper. So this is flex weave. But it is a newer version of flex weave. They call it an engineered stretch upper, soft woven textile, targeted areas of support and stretch. I like this material. It is very comfortable, and it does feel and look a little bit different than flex weave on the Nano 9, but overall it's the same kind of idea. The midfoot cage is slightly revised, so this shoe has kind of an inner booty, and that makes for a very comfortable fit. Really love wearing these shoes. I've only had them for a day, but I can tell they're going to be one of my favorites. The cage, this has changed a bit, but again, the same general idea. This is what integrates with the shoelaces. The collar, this is quite different. So it goes up high, Achilles pad here, tapers away. But more importantly, this is all lined with foam. So that's foam all the way around. Very comfortable, very nice. The tongue is actually quite a bit different than the 9. So it is thin in the middle and down here up towards the top. There's these two sort of padded wings. Otherwise, it's a pretty minimal tongue. I almost feel like they've gone too far with that, though, because when you tighten the laces, you can almost kind of feel the lace bite because the padding ends right there. So they might have gone too far on the tongue, but it's not a huge deal. So the upper, it looks nice. I think this is a very nice looking shoe. They had a number of different colorways, but this was the only one I could get quickly. So very good looking shoe, very comfortable. The tongue this is actually stretchy too. So I noticed that when I put this on, that this very comfortable stretchy type material. Here's something else that's changed from the Nano 9. This shoe, men's size 11, weighs 14.4 ounces. That is almost 9/10 of an ounce heavier than the Nano 9 was. So Nano 9 men's size 11 weighs in at 13.5 ounces. This is 14.4. So where does the extra weight come from? Well, there's more materials, right? There's more foam, bigger collar, and there must be some additional weight somewhere else, although that's not a huge increase in weight. But a 14.4 ounce shoe, cross trainer built like a tank. This is not a lightweight running shoe. It is tough, and that results in more weight than you would have in a featherweight style shoe. All right, so let's talk fit and sizing. This shoe fits very similar to the Nano 9. So I say it runs true to size. This is a men's size 11, fits me perfect, and the length is good, the width is good. This is the Nano shoes have always had outstanding width in the toe box, which makes them very comfortable. And happy to say that's still the case with this shoe. Men's size 11 at the widest part here, it's just slightly over 4.5 inches wide. So it is a good shoe if you have wide feet. That's what the Nano 9 was, and the Nano X will be likewise. So overall, I recommend you if you're happy with how your Nano 9s fit you, probably just go ahead and get the same size in the Nano X. If you're coming from some other shoe, they run true to size, so just follow the sizing guide on Reebok.com. Okay, here's another thing. Reebok is claiming the shoe is runnable, meaning you can run in it. And of course you can run in it, but it is a cross trainer, right? So minimal cushioning. It is not a running shoe. It's not lightweight, right? It's heavy at 14.4 ounces. It has some cushion. This isn't going to be the shoe that you're going to reach for to go run a 5K or a 10K. At least I wouldn't. I'd much prefer to run in regular, real running shoes when I'm going distance. But, they are versatile, and you certainly can use them for short distances. I personally don't feel, based on my initial evaluation, I don't feel like there's anything in the Nano X that in particular is going to make it more runnable than the Nano 9 was. It feels quite similar, the levels of cushioning and things like that. The other question is, can you lift in these? Yes, you can lift in these. So the heel is very firm and stable and very grippy, good shoe. Actually, very much looking forward to working out with these soon. Okay, so now let's compare to the Nano 9. So you can see a lot of similarities here. So the Nano 9 had the older style flex weave, a very thickly padded tongue. So the tongue on the Nano 9 is padded all over, including way down in there, and that's again different here. It's a more minimal tongue, maybe too minimal, but only time will tell. Can see the same general shape and both wide shoes, both very comfortable. Both have the Rope Pro in the inside, so labeled Rope Pro there. Midsole protection wrap. You can see the inner booty and the cage on the 9. Again, the big difference being the collar comes up a lot higher. Foam on the inside all around on the Nano X. It's the heel, very similar. I do think the heel cup in the X is more. It's stiffer, it's firmer just by feel. This feels a little weaker. So maybe they've beefed up the heel cup. If they did, they didn't put it in the marketing materials, but my first guess is that they did. So overall, if you liked your Nano 9s, you're probably going to love the Nano X. They order the same size. And, if you needed a reason to upgrade from the Nano 9s, this is a very similar feeling shoe. That's my initial take. I have not really had a chance to work with them too much yet, but true to size, and give them a shot. If you like the Nano 9, you're probably going to like the Nano X. Okay, let's line it up with the Metcon 5, just because. So Metcon 5, these are good shoes. I like them. They've got a 3D haptic printed upper. They have regular laces. It's got a flat, high traction outsole. It's got this monster size rope wrap on it and very solid heel. Big difference with the Metcon 5 is they use a dual density midsole, which is removable. So very firm back here, very almost mushy up front. And that's one of the things people complain about is you can feel the difference here from where it goes firm to mushy is somewhat pronounced, and you can feel that, and that annoys some people. It doesn't particularly bother me though. But good shoes because you can lift in them. I like to run in them because I'm a heavy 4-foot striker, and that extra bit of cushion up front helps me. Metcon 5 is, this is 13.5 ounces. Again, this is 14.4, so this is a lighter shoe. These run narrow though, the Metcon 5s do, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it here or not. This is a men's 11.5, whereas this is a men's 11. And I feel like I've got width to spare in the men's 11 on the Nano X, whereas I don't feel there's really any room to spare on the Metcon 5. But overall, both are good shoes. Based on my initial thoughts, the Nano X feeling a lot like the Nano 9. Very, very pleased with it, but I also like my Metcons as well. All right, so that was our first look at the Reebok Nano X. This is the 10th version of Reebok's CrossFit training shoe. It has a lot of similarities to the Nano 9. It fits true to size, so I recommend you order your regular shoe size. It does have a lot of nice improvements, such as the new improved collar with the foam, different tongue, different flex weave upper, but otherwise a lot of the things that you know and love from the Nano 9 are the same, such as the cushioning and the overall versatility of the shoe. We'll have another follow-up after we put these through the workout paces. If you like this sort of review, please subscribe. We post new shoe reviews regularly. Thank you. Have a good day.